Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are all of you today? How are you all today? I will keep doing that until everybody gets energized. We will do this. I'm Rick Fedrizzi, President and CEO of U.S. Green Building Council. For those of you that don't know me, I've got 2 more months as the chair of the World Green Building Council. So I want to thank all of you for the amazing warm welcomes I have received around the world as I've traveled and met with many of you and your organizations and your countries. It's been a very, very exciting opportunity. When I look at how much work is being done at the local level, it's just mind-boggling. I'm so used to our USGBC world and our amazing chapter organization and the work that goes on at the local level. And then I have the great opportunity to travel the world and meet with all of you, and I watch your organizations and then your sub-organizations and the great work that you are doing continent to continent, country to country. When my friend David Gottfried, are you here anywhere, David Gottfried? No, he's sleeping late again. But when David Gottfried said that we were going to change the world many years ago, I honestly thought that he was a little crazy. I thought nobody gets to change the world except people like Gandhi and Mother Teresa and people that just have this reach and this connection to all of humanity. But what I didn't count on was all of you. And the fact that that reach to humanity everywhere happens through connections. And we are a live fabric of connections and people. We are intelligent, we are strong, and we have a vision for the future. And that is about as good as it gets for any of us. I know you've all had a great morning session today. I know the conversations about the V4 beta projects, the importance of sustainable urban development, and all of the ideas that we have to start looking at the future with regards to resiliency. Green agenda without looking at what climate change is bringing our way and understanding the intersection of resiliency to our agenda is just crazy nowadays. We absolutely need to put this on the front burner for every single thing that we do going forward. As I've traveled the world this year, I think there is not one place that I've been to, and I've been to about 10 countries this year, not one place does not have climate change on the front of their agenda for everything that needs to be done in the future. I'm not saying that you have the support of your local governments for that, because I know right here in the United States, we have luckily had the energy of the green building movement to carry forward that agenda. All of us connected, organizations like the American Institute of Architects, BOMA, IFMA, are big organizations here in the U.S. that we were able to keep those ideas front and center even when our federal government decided it was not an important issue. And I think that all of these things happen in your countries every single day, but you are not allowing that to happen. You are keeping those things alive and focused. One of the things that we're here to talk about today, and I'm very, very excited about, as we start looking at the world and it becomes smaller, and we start looking at our friendships and our partnerships and they become greater, and we start realizing our important messages that we come to Greenbuild and celebrate for just a couple of hours, in biblical sense, it's a millisecond of information that gets transferred and connected. And the idea is, how do we expand that? And how do we grow that ability for our organizations to spend more time together and to connect the dots? And I think something that will be a moment in green building history, historic reference, will be the day that Greenbuild joined forces with Hanley Wood Organization and began the process of helping to cultivate information opportunities through Greenbuild shows around the world. Thank you. I am really very excited about this. We made a incredibly strategic decision working with partners like Hanley Wood. They had been working with us on our residential work for years. We know them, we know their values, we know how committed they are to this opportunity, and as such, I think I almost get chills saying it, we've created a vehicle for the future that is going to accelerate our agenda in ways that we probably could not have done it otherwise. One of the things I'd like to do right now is ask three folks to come up to the stage. Rick McConnell from Hanley Wood. Rick, if you would come up. My good friend Mario Zoccatelli from GBC Italia and Felipe Faria from GBC Brazil. Would you all come up here for just a moment? We know that the great task of communicating what needs to be done, how quickly it needs to be done, and helping business understand this important intersection with sustainability means everything to our future. The ability for us to do that with Greenbuild as a vehicle is one of the strongest ways that we can do this quickly and effectively. So with that, Rick, can I ask you to just say a few words about this important next step partnership?
Absolutely. You know, once I saw the agenda, I realized I've got the toughest job. I've got to follow Rick Fedrizzi. That is not a fun position to be in when you're up here speaking. It is indeed a fantastic, great day for USGBC, for GBC Italia, for GBC Brazil, and Hanley Wood. What we're getting ready to march off into greater pastures is just exciting beyond belief. But I'd like to spend just a second in talking a little bit about Hanley Wood and what we're about. We're the premier media company that connects design and construction professionals, either through our events, through our media properties, through our digital businesses, through our marketing research, through our data business. And we live and breathe in the design and construction arena. All of our properties are centered around that. A little more about us. How about 29 industry-leading magazines, 2.2 million readers, 210 online education courses, 30 years of creating award-winning branded content, 45 e-newsletters, 61 websites, and it goes on and on. I promise not to read every one of those numbers up there today. And of course, we produce 30 great trade shows, most of which are the leading events and the market sectors and segments that they serve. But I'm not here really to talk about Hanley Wood. I'm here to talk about this wonderful announcement that we're going to talk a little more about throughout the rest of the luncheon. And if you look at really where we're combining Hanley Wood, USGBC, GBC Brazil, GBC Italia, and Verona, which is going to be our European trade show organizer that we partner with, there's no question that we're going to be bringing cutting-edge education, great sustainability content, an event experience that's going to become synonymous with what's already been built in a wonderful way in Greenbuild. But now it's going to be even bigger, and we're launching some exciting things today here. So these are game changers. I'm happy to be a part of them, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your lunch. And back to you, Rick.
What a lot of you don't know, it's actually amazing that the synergies between Italy and Brazil and these two organizations has been going on for much longer than this new opportunity to create Greenbuilds here. There's been a strong collaboration of sharing ideas and technology and information, and I think it speaks to the best story of who we are and what we're about, having these things that we can share across borders to help other countries and other GBCs come up to speed much faster than they ever would have. I was in South Africa at the World Green Building Council meeting not too long ago, and I was speaking to 3 new GBC organizations from Ghana and Tanzania and Namibia. And, you know, one of the questions that came up in the session had to do with the fact of sharing information. And I said to them, you know, it took USGBC 20 years to get to the point where we are today, 20 years. And I said, but it will take all of you 2 or 3 years. Because we believe in taking information and sharing it, collaborating in ways that would never allow for someone to say, I have a vision for a schools program, but I don't know how to get it done, because we do know how to get it done, and you're going to hear a little bit about that in the future. Or whether it's a health-related organizational kind of move, or how my board of directors can advance and think about ideas, how fundraising can occur. We have that information and we share it, and these 2 countries have been doing a beautiful job of that in the last 5 or 6 years that I've known them closely. With that, I'd like to ask Mario Zoccatelli, the world's 2nd most passionate man on the planet. You all have to figure out who the first one is. And Mario is actually, what I love about Mario is he is a man of action. When something needs to get done, there is not much discussion that Mario needs to do before jumping in and getting something done. And that is how the U.S. Green Building Council built its organization. That's how the World Green Building Council has come together. And that's how all of you, I know, are growing your agendas. We don't have time anymore for talking. We have to act. So Mario, thank you, and please take the podium.
Thank you, Rick. Buongiorno a tutti. I'm happy, we are happy to be here again. Actually, it's not the first time I'm speaking at the international conference, and any time it was for some kind of announcement. And we can say that any time we kept the promises. So we did what we were announcing. So I hope this time will be the same with these partners we have now. What excited us from the very beginning is the community that is around the U.S. Green Building Council and around the LEED. The LEED for us is a lot more than a rating tool. It is a lot of people that helped us from the very beginning. Of course, when you ask somebody to come to Italy, say, Italy is not such a country. So it was quite difficult to, but in the end, they come and they helped us. So that's the beginning of everything. And now we are thinking condition, like Rick was saying, to move forward with Greenbuild, because we are planning to have a Greenbuild also in Italy, October next year. It will be held in Verona. Our story is, of course, quite different from one of Brazil. We are not such a new country. We got something behind us. And you see, we must take in account what we have. I could show some of you, to Rick, how Romans were used to collect water. And Venice, everybody knows Venice. But think of Venice and the sustainability. It's a city in a desert. There are no drinkable water in it because it's in the middle of a salted sea. How could they survive for thousands of years? Because they collect every drop of water. So, you see, we were lead in some aspect a little before the little was invented. But, of course, you cannot rest on the laurels of the past. And we have now wonderful buildings. We have projects that this is gold or platinum level already awarded by you. And as far as I know, they checked any time twice or 3 times before to give a reward. So this Italian, we are not so sure, but in the end, we got to the result. We want to move forward. Forward means, first of all, Europe. Europe, well, is not a federal reality like USA, but things are moving, changing. And in the institutional agenda of Europe, green economy, and inside the green economy, green building is at the core. In the next decade, Europe will do impressive steps toward a carbon-free economy. So what does it mean for the lead community? That means that lead, that is already an important player in a European market, must prove to be what Scott aimed to say, global, regional, local. Must prove to be a really regional resource. So it keeps a global value, that's really important, but can be regionally adapted. Of course, like USGBC Italia, we are convinced that can be done because we know how to do that, and we already did some work. We have now all the ACP for Europe, and we can do that for new construction, we can do that for neighborhood, or whatever. So it's not difficult, and we hope to do an alignment of all lead tools by 2015 to the version 4. That can be done together, of course, not alone. And that can be the core of the next Expo, to show to the best of European and Italian community, of builder, of professional, of institution, that there is a tool that is global but is also regional, it's also local. Another great opportunity is the Expo. You see there. In 2015, we have the World Expo that will be held in Milan. It's about food. That means sustainability. We must position Greenbuild as a part of a global own sustainability. As USGBC Italia, we are working with slow food. I don't know if this brand say nothing. It's about 0 kilometer, high quality, sustainable agriculture and food. So we can be part, and that means that millions of people visiting Expo can also see what we are doing. So it's a great occasion of a communication for all of us together. So we hope to see the most of you, and a lot of other, of course, in Verona, where we can show sustainability 2,000 years ago, and not 2,000 years from now, but some years from now for sure. Thank you very much.
I always loved Mario's slides. I look at the Coliseum there and think, God, we could have fun in that place, couldn't we?